Good day, everyone. This is Malo Rabiu. I'm going to take you on Module 2, Issues on Business Growth and Overview. Role of entrepreneurship in wealth creation through innovation and job creation is critical to economic growth and development. Entrepreneurship is very important factor that bring about economic development in any country. And this can only be sustained when businesses grow to serve the increasing population and demand. As the population or number of people in a country, increases, there is need for proportionate increase in other economic activities in order to cater for the growing population in terms of, job creation, in terms of wealth creation, and so many other things that are needed by people. So it is very important for business to grow as the population grows, so that there will be no issues in the economy. And it is because of this reason that government, owners, and other stakeholders are very much interested in business growth. And because of that, government being the custodian or the regulator in any country, is very much interested in business growth, because it is when the business grows, they are going to employ a lot of people, and when number of people are employed, there is bound to be minimal level of insecurity and so many other social biases in the country, and the country is bound to develop economically and politically. So not only government, also the business owners are very much interested in business growth. Why? Because when business grow, their wealth can also grow at the same time. You understand? So business owners are very much interested in business growth. So also the employee, when the business grow, the business is going to employ more people, and the likely salary and wages can be increased. You understand? Upward, because when the business grow, it can produce mass good large number of goods and services which they can sell, and gain a lot of money which they can service their expenditure and what have you. So again, this background, it is very important for managers and owners to make sure they designed and implement effective strategy to ensure that their business survive, not only survive but grow to some level. You understand? To be able to play their role in the economic development of the country where they are residing. So this module is designed to prepare potential entrepreneurs with the tools and framework to assist them in their journey towards creating viable and expanding ventures. So it's going to be an important module, because it's going to educate our potential entrepreneurs and our entrepreneurs on how to grow their businesses. A lot of people have the resources but lack the knowledge. You understand? The managerial know-how on how to grow their business. So it's going to be very important. So issues on business growth. Why is it that more than half of most businesses fail in less than 2 years of commencement? This is a common happening in our business environment. You understand? You see business failures all over around. A large number of those businesses that survive the first 2 years hardly grow beyond. Why? Is it because we ascribe business success or failure to luck? No, this is what people normally perceive, that because their businesses fail or something happened to them that results in maybe failing or shutting down their business, they ascribe it to whether they are not luck or not, or certain environmental condition, including family background or government policies and what have you. So it is only a few businesses that survive, grow, regenerate, and even create other businesses. Are they using magic, the few that survive and regenerate? No, of course. They are called strategy to grow. Conventionally, people ascribe business success or failure to fate, chance, or environmental factors. But in actual sense, those are not the real causes. You understand? The real causes is the entrepreneur ability to develop strategy, ability to manage his growth, effectively, to be able to survive and grow the business. So even though one could not entirely rule out the influence of changes in the environmental factors, the entrepreneur's positive attitude, discipline, skills, competencies, resilience, and experience are real factors determining the transition of an enterprise from startup to a fully grown or diversified venture. So these are the reasons, not the luck, not the factors, environmental factors we ascribe our failure to, and some other, issues. It's our, ability as an entrepreneur. So it's very important for us to be able to learn how to properly manage our business. So concept of business growth. What is this business growth? Business growth is the expansion of firms, product or services, or target market, or some combination of each. It is a movement from small to large enterprises, as most ventures start small due to limited knowledge of the market, shortage of capital, lack of skill, employee, etc. This is normal. Most of the businesses that are growing or have grown, bigger businesses in Kano State and in Nigeria, Africa, and the world at large, most of them started very small. Some well-known businesses like Google and similar giant corporation some of them started from garage. You understand? Very small. Why? Because initially at the startup level, entrepreneurs lack the capital they need for the big business of their choice, and maybe the knowledge and what have you, the experience, lack of knowledge, market linkages and knowledge and what have you. All these contribute to discourage them or stun them from starting big. So they normally start very small. So it's a movement from that stage to a situation where or a phase where business grow fully grown into big corporation. So businesses grow for a number of reasons. Number one, desire to make money and enjoy. Entrepreneurs make an effort to grow their businesses in order to make a lot of money and enjoy their lifestyle. There is a saying, if you want to be rich, you need to go into business, not a salaried employment. So anybody who wants to be rich needs to go into entrepreneurship, and make an effort, through discipline and what have you, to grow the business into big corporation, and then you are in money. You do whatever you want to do with the money. You buy the flashy car you desire, the big house you want, the beautiful wives you want to marry. You understand? Everything you want, you can have it. But a salaried employees don't have this kind of a luxury. You understand? So the choice is all ours. So desire to improve social status and well-being. If you want to improve your social status, you need to go into business. People like Dangote, Tenue Elomelu, and many other, well-known, prominent business people in Nigeria, they have high social status in our country and world Africa. You understand? Some of them are recognized worldwide because of their status. So to take advantage of gap in the market, sometimes there might be a scarcity, in the market. There might be a need for a particular product or service in the market, and nobody is supplying. So for somebody to take that advantage, that person can fill in. You understand, with this product or new product or service in the marketplace. To gain competitive advantage over rivals and to win increased market share. Sometimes you alone cannot face a very strong competitor in the marketplace. So sometimes for you to be able to do that, you need to grow your business in equal strength with your rival to be able to compete with them. You understand? So for that reason, businesses grow very big and compete favorably in the marketplace. Then lastly, for greater opportunity, philanthropy and community services. There's what they call business social responsibilities. For business to be able to be socially responsible to its community, its host community, it needs to grow and generate more money so that it can be able to cater for their need, like providing road networks, electricity, like maybe sponsoring their children education and what have you. Business by way of their daily operation, they do pollute business their environment or their host community. So a business need to pay back, you understand, in the form of business social responsibility. You understand? This social responsibility could be in many forms. It could be employing, getting your employee from the host community. We have been saying it. A lot of companies have been doing a lot of things to their community in Nigeria. So for you to be able to do that, you need to grow your business to be able to generate a lot of money to do that. So type of business growth, we have internal and external growth. Internal growth is the business growth that happens within the business without bringing in external finances. Expansion from within the firm by using internal resources. The owners contribute more capital or plow back profit into the business to acquire new assets, employ more staff, build additional plant, or deploy new technology. It's called internal growth. The main advantage of this approach is that business is able to leverage its asset and experience over time. You can be able to use your existing asset, like for example a business that is plugging back return earnings, the profit they have accumulated over the years, which they can bring in and utilize it for the business, like to invest or buy additional machines, technology or what have you, to develop the business. That is an internal growth. You understand? So the main disadvantage of this, your business rival, your competitor may be using a more better approach to grow their businesses, like using external growth strategy, like licensing or franchising their business to in another environment or something of that nature, like going online and stuff like that, which we are going to see later in the lecture. Is external growth, seeking external finances or by merger or acquisition. Because of the external finances coming into the business, there is possibility of change in the ownership structure. The external growth normally result in modification to the capital structure of the business, because external funding is coming into the business. Like for example, a business that is issuing shares to grow the business. The moment people buy the company shares, new money is coming into the business, and in the process the ownership structure is being tempered. You understand? So this is how it is. So we are going to see a lot of these kind of strategies of business growth. So strategies for growth. Business organization must grow in order to remain relevant and competitive. A firm is required to constantly search for and make use of knowledge of its changing market in order to identify and exploit growth opportunities. So now we are going to see this type of strategy. So strategy for growth. Number one is expanding product line or service offering. Sometimes the ability of a business to expand its size, you understand, by increasing the maybe the factory plant, by employing more people, may not be possible. So a business can exploit expanding its product line. That is a process of creating more product out of existing product in its business, in its new market, or maybe by discovering entirely new market with its existing products. So a firm may increase its product offering by serving the existing market or discovering an entirely new market. For example, Dangote group of companies PLC introduced Dangote noodles to its product lines to serve the existing large market for fast meals in Africa. You understand? They were in noodles, spaghetti, macaroni, flour and stuff like that, and then they moved into noodles. You understand? Discover new markets from their existing line of products. It's called expanding product line or service offering. And this can also be applicable to service businesses. You are doing a particular service, you roll another service out of it. You understand? By so doing, you are growing your business, because you are going to offer your services to more than your existing customers. You are going to get more new customers. You understand? So it's a very good strategy to grow your business. If you cannot maybe go online, if you cannot open a new branch, if you cannot export, you can expand your product line. You can go into similar kind of products. You can, or maybe create other product or service that you can use with your existing asset, machines and what have you. So the next one is opening new branches or division. If you cannot be able to create or expand your product line or service, you can open new branch or division. Opening new branch, it entails creating another business under your existing business in another location. This allows firms to expand to new locations, other local government or state with new or existing products. Existing products or markets. Okay, this allows them to expand to new locations, other local government or state with new or existing product depending on market requirement. So the most important thing in opening new branch is to make sure that demand already exists in the location you are targeting. You understand? You cannot just roll out a branch without doing your homework to ascertain, to make sure demand already exists in that location, that people need your product or service in that location. So as an entrepreneur, you can develop strategy to promote your product or service in your new location, maybe by way of advertisement, you understand, by creating an event, by doing all the promotional activity that is within your capability to make sure you market your new product in your new location. So even if the demand is not there, you can find a way to stimulate demand in the new location. This one is exporting. Exporting is another strategy which you can be able to expand your business. Exporting is a process where you deliver your product beyond your national border, maybe to your neighboring countries, like for example from Nigeria to Niger Republic to Cameroon, Chad, and all these African countries. Or if need be, you can even export to Asia or Europe or even America, depending on the kind of business you are into. So it's another way to increase the size of your business. By exporting, you are servicing a market away from your existing market. You are moving away from your country to another country with your existing products or service. So in such by so doing you are increasing the size of your business. So today, market, customer taste, competition and knowledge are global. That is, whatever you may be selling in Nigeria, in Kano State, it might be needed in somewhere else in the world. You understand? So there is always an opportunity worldwide to market your products. But going international entails a lot of activities. Number one, you need to standardize your product to make sure your product is standard according to your target countries specification and what have you. So it needs a lot of hard work and strategy and a lot of investment. So regardless of the business one undertakes, there are always opportunities for growth in the international markets. Is innovation. Innovation is the greatest source of sustained growth, according to Peters and Waterman, 1994. They observed that innovative companies are very skillful at continually responding to changes in the customer needs and are better prepared to overcome new competitive or other environmental challenges. By innovation, you can be able to create new and more better products or services. Like most of these, well-known companies like Apple, that company is very good in producing, very innovative product and services that, is highly appealing to their customers. You understand? So a company that is very innovative is automatically growing in size, because they can be able to generate more product and services. They have endless possibilities. You understand? To create new things, to create new products, to devise new ways of producing and minimizing costs and achieving growth and what have you. So innovation is very important. It's an important avenue where an entrepreneur can grow his business. We have creating or maintaining online presence that is going online. Now entrepreneurs need to capitalize on the high-speed internet and cheap internet services in our country. Now it's the right time for people to go online, because the internet and what have you are becoming cheaper and cheaper by the day, and technology has come to stay. Will continue evolving, and whether entrepreneurs like it or not, they have to change in the direction of technological development. You understand? Our distribution channel is being tampered by technology, so entrepreneurs need to devise a means of maintaining an online presence, so that they can be able to target a market beyond where they are physically residing. So it's a very good strategy to develop to grow your business. So even though your physical size may not be increased, your number of employees or your unit of product, you understand, by going online, you are reaching market beyond where you are physically residing, and that can entail more orders, which will force you to acquire more raw materials, employ more people, and produce more, because you are going to get more orders from far away places beyond where you are residing, beyond your local market. You understand? So it's a very good avenue to grow your business. So instead of setting up branches physically within and outside national borders, it can reach global market using internet. This is a very good opportunity for business to grow. Franchising and licensing is that under franchising, you allow somebody to use your business model as if you are the one. Under licensing, you allow somebody to produce some of your product or service, not claiming your business name ownership, but some of your product or services. And then we have merger and acquisition. Merger is a process where company of equal strength merge together to become one. Company of equal strength. Like for example, companies that want to compete with a very strong competitor in the marketplace can merge, can partner, to compete favorably with the very big competitor in the marketplace. So in such a situation, when the two companies of equal strength, resources and what have you, join together, is called merger. So once they merge, both companies, increase their size, become a bigger company, which they can do, a lot of things, being, bigger. They can compete favorably with the bigger companies. They can hire more people. They can, buy more raw material. They can earn more money, and they can give more revenue to the government. And then we have acquisition. Acquisition is a process where a more stronger company takes over a weaker company. In many cases, companies engage in merger or acquisition in order to get access to real estate or other facilities, to get access to brand name, trademarks, patent or technology, and sometimes to get competent employees. But the most common or obvious reason is to acquire customers. See the case of Nigerian banks. You understand? If you can observe, if you have been observing, the Nigerian, banking system, there have been issue of merger and acquisition all over the place. FCMB acquired, PIN Bank. PIN Bank was having, financial issues, and they have large branch network in the country. Formerly FCMB was, a wholesale banking dealing with, merchant and big, business people, companies and stuff like that. They were not really into retail banking. But Pim Bank was very good in retail banking. They have branches, all over the country. So in order to benefit from that, you understand, to enjoy, advantage of retail banking, the FCMB, saw possibility of doing that, and they went ahead and acquired the bank. You understand, and so the FCMB expanded their services to more retail, smaller customers. So these are the reason why companies acquire other companies or merge with other companies. So in either way, companies are growing their size. So it's a very good strategy to grow. And then competition is a process where two or more companies collaborate in order to compete with a more stronger company in the marketplace. Sometimes companies are not merging or acquiring each other or something like that, but they come together to produce a particular product or service which they can compete with more stronger competitor in the marketplace. So in that kind of situation, those companies are increasing their size directly or indirectly, because they can produce a product that can compete with a very stronger competitor in the marketplace. So it's another way to grow your size. And then we have challenges of business growth in Nigeria. One of the reasons why initially I mentioned constant failure of businesses in Nigeria. That was possible perhaps due to some of these challenges. Number one, lack of coherent economic empowerment policy by the government, technical constraint, lack of enough and competent vocational centers where entrepreneurs and business people can learn variety of skills that will help them to manage their businesses effectively. Deteriorating economic condition, like for example now the purchasing power is very low, so people don't have the strength to buy, economic strength to buy as much as they want goods or services in the marketplace, and as such is very discouraging to our local businesses. So because of the economic weak economic condition, it's very challenging for business to grow, because business develop when they make a lot of sales that will allow them to make a lot of money. If that is not possible, it means there will be no growth. Lack of productive culture, some people are very much comfortable with the status quo. They don't want to make an effort to intentional effort to grow their businesses. So in such a situation, business remain stagnant. And then weak investment climate and doing business indicator. For example, low access to finance, poor infrastructural facilities, low access to business development services, and low access to foreign direct investment. So these are the challenges that hindered business growth in Nigeria. These are not here to discourage us as entrepreneurs or potential entrepreneurs, but to educate us on the prevalence of these challenges, so that as an entrepreneur you can develop strategy, you can find your way to fight for your business, to make sure you grow it and survive it, so that you can benefit from the benefits business growth gives to entrepreneurs. So here are some few tips for critical success factors for growing businesses. So for someone who wants to grow his business, he needs to give consideration to these factors we are going to mention. Number one, clarity of vision and values. You need to have a very good vision, a mental picture of where you want to be in the future. Milestone, a target. You understand? You need to have a good vision and values. And then you need to build competence. You need to know you need to be very good at what you do. If you are into manufacturing, you need to be very good in manufacturing the product or services. You need to develop goodwill, that is reputation in the mind of your customers, in terms of quality, in terms of promise keeping, in terms of meeting their need and want. You understand? As they are expected. So by so doing, you are going to develop reputation in their mind, and that will entail loyalty from them. And then resilience. You need to endure the challenges, the difficulty situation you may face as you embark on growing your business. You need to be very creative, because business environment is highly competitive. You need to be very creative to fine-tune your product to make it better and better, so that it can compete favorably and win you a market share. Ensure concentration. You need to be good at one thing. Don't be a jack of trade, master of none. You need to ensure you concentrate in focusing your attention in a kind of business you have strengths in doing. You have the strengths and ability to do better in. And then be courageous, and then you need to learn from your failure and move on. Failure should always be treated as a learning ground, because anytime a person fails, it means something is wrong somewhere. If that person can go back and check, that person can be able to make it better in the next trial. And then be financially disciplined is very important, especially at the start of stage and growth. It's very important for someone to be financially disciplined, even though we all want to be enjoy the good thing that money is buy, but everything has time. So it's better to be financially disciplined, especially at the start off and at the growth stage, so that when your business grow into something very big, where you'll be earning much more income, you can do whatever you want with your money. Like, for example, the big business people we are having in Nigeria, they are buying big cars, they are building houses, they are doing all what they want, because they have grown their business, they have achieved success. And then you need to invest in people, your employees, your business partners, and what have you. You need to invest in them so that they give you the best you expect from them. So lastly, some people inherently derive satisfaction from being excellent in what they do. They tend to have insatiable desire to grow and positively affect the world around them. Other people tend to be comfortable with every result, while others are easy come, easy go. So it's very important you know where you belong to. You understand? So remember that even the world is not static. New challenges are popping up every day. So businesses must grow in order to overcome them. So your complaints about the environmental factors, about the bad government policies, about lack of electricity, about all these are not acceptable. As far as entrepreneurship is concerned, you need to find your way. You need to make sure you start your business and grow it, so that you too can enjoy your life as others are enjoying. You understand? So it all depends on you. Thank you for listening. I wish you all the best. If you have any question, you can drop it at the forum, so that one of us can respond to it. Thank you once again.